So happy to be hosting this call. Sorry it took me a little longer to get on than it normally would. I have been dealing with these really fantastic headaches lately, so I wanted to make sure that I was all good for everybody tonight when I gave you this video. I'm just going to double check that this is all working. This is only my... Okay, cool. So this should be live streaming, which is awesome. All right, friends. So I wanted to share a little bit about the container system. Some of you have done Beachbody for a while, and some of you are brand new to this process. But the nice thing is that Beachbody made it super, super simple to be able to follow a nutrition plan. So let me talk to you a little bit about the containers. I've got my containers right here. You guys will all get one or should have some already. So they are, they're color coordinated. You can't see those. They're all color coordinated. But they also sent us labels when they sent us our containers. So what we have is just a portion control system. So we have our greens, which is our vegetables. So like Brussels sprouts and broccoli and carrots and good stuff like that. We have our purple. Sorry, we're making tea here at home. We have our purple, and that is our fruits. So strawberries, mango, blueberries. It's like a shitload of food too. This one always shocks me how big it is. Red is our protein. So that's gonna be like fish or chicken or ground turkey or things like that. We have our yellow, which is everyone's favorite container. This is our carbs, our healthy carbs. So it'll be like oatmeal or sweet potatoes, stuff like that. Blue is our healthy fats, so like cheese or guacamole or hummus. And then the orange is your seeds and your oil-based dressings. It's the weirdest one. So everyone should have their containers. Basically, what I do when I create a meal, excuse me, is so I create the meal and then I portion it out using my containers. So I'm not like cooking using these necessarily. If you're curious about the measurements of these, you can just Google it. There's a ton of information about the container systems if you'd like more. Now I'm going to go ahead and screen share with you guys so that you can see how to calculate your food. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go to Beachbody On Demand. I'm just going to use an example for you guys if it will ever load. Okay, so let's say, for example, I am going to do 21-day fix. So I'm going to click on 21-day fix. If you're new, this is your what we affectionately call BOD, B-O-D. This is where you stream your workouts. But you're going to go to Program Materials. You're going to go to Nutrition. And this is where you can find the list of foods for each container. You can also just Google it or Pinterest it. But when it talks about this, it starts with the healthiest food and works down to the least nutritional option, if that makes sense. So, for example, sweet potato is fantastic. Corn tortillas are totally allowed, but they're not quite as good. This is where you can also find information on foods that don't fit into the containers. For example, bananas are on here somewhere. You can have a half a banana. That doesn't typically fit into the purple container. There's a handful of yellows like that as well, like crackers or bagels or tortillas, things like that. So anyhow, so I'm going to go to the eating plan. And this is a lot of information, and that's why I like to give you kind of my video version because I think it's a little bit easier. But whatever program you're doing, it's going to have this calculating option. So you're going to take your weight. So like I'll do mine for the 21-day fix, okay? So my starting weight is 138. I'm going to multiply that by 11 because that's what it says to do. So now my caloric baseline right here is 1,518. So you're going to add 400 to that number. Super easy. And then you're going to subtract 750. It's basically walking you through all the steps. So mine is 1,168 calories. That puts me below plan A, but I'm not going to eat under plan A. I'm going to round up to plan A. So what I would do is I would eat then 3 vegetables, 2 fruits, 4 proteins, 2 carbs, 1 healthy fat, 1 seed and dressing, and 2 teaspoons of oils and nut butters. That one I did not go over, but it's just what it says, oils and nut butter. So extra virgin olive oil, peanut butter, things like that. So you can print out these tally sheets if that's helpful for you. You can also go into our page and under the files section, I dropped a meal plan. So I'm going to go and view that meal plan real quick. My computer's a little sleepy. So I'm going to go and look at that plan. And what I did here is I labeled what each meal was container-wise. And this is actually a little incorrect. There should be another fruit in here. So I'll make that adjustment for you guys. But anyhow, so for example, if you are in bracket A, this is correct for you approximately because you've got 4 greens, 2 or 3 yellows, 4 reds. This might be, depending on the program that you're doing, bracket B. So what you want to do is you want to take what I've built here for you and edit it to fit your very specific nutrition plan based on the program that you're doing. All right. I will edit that for you guys later. So sorry about that. So what you're going to do is, I wrote it in a post earlier. You, just to review, you go to your Beachbody On Demand, you pick your program, you go to program materials, and then you go to the nutrition guide. And every nutrition guide for every program is based on the container system. There are things like wine that go in your containers, and each program talks about alcohol specifically. So your wine is actually 8 ounces of wine, and I believe you can have that twice a week, and it replaces one of your yellow containers. You can also do the same thing with chocolate. I think it's 4 ounces of chocolate replaces one of your yellow containers. So when you want to go on your Valentine's Day date next week, you are totally allowed to be on your plan and on your Valentine's Day date, which is really awesome. If you have any questions about your nutrition or how to follow the plan, or you need help because you're a picky eater and you need help substituting your foods in the menu that I gave you, I'm here to help. If you have questions, I'm here to help. I'm so excited to get started. The nutrition guide, people make it more complicated than it is, but really it's just fitting your foods in your containers and using the meal plan that I gave you and sticking to it. Okay, so let me know if you guys have any questions.